Hello, my name is Charles Bluford. I will be attending Bedford High School. I will be a junior I'll be a junior in the fall. And the mentors that help me out are Joe Psycho and Dr. Gerwal. And they helped me on my project, which is blood loss management in patients undergoing elective arthroplasty. Background. Arthroplasty is the replacement of a particular joint with a prosthetic device. Arthroplasty can involve hips, knees, shoulders, and all the others that apply. Arthroplasty comes from the Greek root word arthron, which means joint or articulation. Here you see is a total hip arthroplasty, and we will be referring to that as THA from now on. As you can see, they cut off the top of the femur, and they replace the ball joint with a rod and a ball joint prosthesis. The total knee arthroplasty will be known as TKA from now on, and as you can see, the bottom of the femur has been cut off and the top of the tibia has been cut off, and they have been replaced with a prosthetic device to replicate the articulation of the real joint. Blood loss management. Blood loss management is defined as the appropriate use of blood and blood components with a goal of minimizing their use. The aim is to avoid or minimize blood use so as not to subject the patient to the risks of transfusion, infectious or non-infectious. Blood loss management. Patients with preoperative hemoglobin levels of 14 and over grams per deciliter are less likely to receive blood than those with lower values. The World Health Organization defines anemia as a hemoglobin of 12 or less grams per deciliter for females, 13 grams per deciliter for males. It is in the patient's best interest to have a higher hemoglobin value when having elective surgery. Hypothesis. A review of the literature indicates that patients with a higher preoperative hemoglobin level undergoing elective arthroplasty are less likely to receive blood transfusions when compared to patients with lower value. Methodology. Medical records of all patients who had total knee and hip arthroplasties between January 1st and May 31st of 2011 were reviewed. All repairs or second surgeries were excluded. Data was collected as to the preoperative hemoglobin level, estimated blood loss, blood and cell saver use. Procedures were observed and interviews conducted with orthopedic surgeons, anesthesiologists, physician assistants, cell saver vendor, and blood bank staff. Data. 161 records were reviewed. There were 66 males and 95 females. 113 had a TKA, which is 42 males and 71 females. 48 had a THA, which is 24 males and 24 females. The age ranged from 45 to 97, with an average age of 67. Most patients were in the 60 to 80 year age group. All of the patients who had a preoperative hemoglobin were performed. As you can see the percents right there, 49 and 28 males and 21 females had a hemoglobin of 14 or higher grams per deciliter. 43, which is 18 males and 25 females, had a hemoglobin level of 13.0 and 13.9 grams per deciliter. 64, which is 19 males and 45 females, had a hemoglobin level of 10.1 to 12.9 grams per deciliter. And 5, which is 1 male and 4 females, had a hemoglobin of 10 grams per deciliter or less. Results. Of the 161 patients, 114, which is 70.8%, did not receive a transfusion. 47 patients, which is 29.2%, received a transfusion. 8%, which is 4 of 49 with a hemoglobin of 14.0 grams per deciliter, received blood. 9 of 43 with a hemoglobin ranging of 13.0 to 13.9 grams per deciliter received blood. And 30 of 64 with a hemoglobin ranging of 10.1 to 12.9 grams per deciliter received blood. And 4 of 5 with a hemoglobin of 10 or less grams per deciliter received blood. As you can see in the graph, as the hemoglobin goes up, you can see that the need for transfusion goes down. So if we can at least get the patients that are in elective arthroplasty to get their hemoglobin levels up to at least from a 12.9 to 13.0, you see a dramatic decrease in the amount of transfusions needed, at least by half. And if we can get the people from 13.9 grams per deciliter to 14.0 and above, we would see an even greater decrease in the amount of transfusions needed. Cell saver usage. Cell saver was used in 29.2% of the cases, which is 47 of 161. Cell saver was used in 17.7% of the TKA cases, which is 20 of 113. Cell saver was used in 56.3 of the THA cases, which is 27 of 48. When the cell saver was used, only 25.5% of cases, 12 of 47 received blood. As you can see, this is another graph, the originals of real patients who actually went into an arthroplasty. As you see with the TKA, the original hemoglobin is the one in the purple, and how it dropped is the one in the red. It really didn't drop down that much. And for the THA, these are all really good levels to actually be at after the surgery because they are very manageable considering they are very bloody surgeries. Conclusions. We confirmed in the data in the literature that patients undergoing elective arthroplasty with a preoperative hemoglobin level of 14 grams per deciliter or higher were less likely to receive blood when compared to patients with lower levels. The need for blood transfusions increased with progressively decreasing patient hemoglobin values. Cell saver usage helped cut down on the need for blood during surgery. Recommendations. Preoperative anemia assessment 30 days plus prior to elective surgery. Identify, evaluate, and manage iron deficiency or anemia. Higher preoperative hemoglobin level means a decreased need for blood. And as you can see, like I said before in this graph, if we can at least get the patients that are in arthroplasty from a 12.9 to a 13.0, this would be a dramatic decrease in the amount of transfusions needed so that not to subject the patient to any type of blood transfusions so that they don't get any other different proteins or any other infectious or different types of pathogens in their blood. Recommendations. Prevent and control intraoperative blood loss. Use electrocautery and other devices. Intraoperative, postoperative use of cell saver and other blood recovery devices. And what a cell saver is, it washes your cells with saline. When the doctor does the opening part of the wound, the cell saver or the anesthesiologist will suck the blood out of it, and it will go through a interactive process where it cleans and washes the cells, and then it is retransfused back to the patient. Thank you to all who helped with this project: orthopedic surgeons, anesthesiologists, physician assistants, surgery staff, laboratory staff, and cell saver vendor. Thank you for the Office of Civic Education Initiatives. Thank you for listening to my presentation.